Hi everyone, welcome back to Rock Bottom with Rhoda and Dan. I'm Dan.
And I'm Rhoda.
All right. In the news lately, there's a story about the Tate brothers.
The Tate brothers, yeah.
I know so little about. This is one of those stories that I have not
Kept up
at all.
It just caught my attention because the more I learned about them, the more I thought, I gotta, yeah. They're just lovely individuals. They
all of this though is alleged. Okay.
Alleged, right. They've alleged. They're professional. They got into the public's eye because they're professional kickboxers. So
kickboxers. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And they're also influencers, and influencers they do public trends. You know, they go on TikTok and YouTube and places, and they get their message out. Andrew, he's got he's got $10.8 million followers.
How many?
10.8.
10.8 followers.
Now, like ABC News has got the biggest ratings of the news networks, and they've got like 8.
Oh, they got
9.
8.
Yeah,
okay.
So he has a bigger audience than they do.
Okay.
Tristan Tate, he only has 3.3,
okay.
which is still it's probably a little bit better than Stephen Colbert got, and he was the highest rated late night talk show host. So
well, and it's better. Yeah. It's better than any show that CNN and probably MS Now probably. Well, certainly combine those two, but I think you can combine Fox and the other 3, and I bet that doesn't have 3 million.
Maybe.
But that.
No. Fox has around 6. I think I looked in that.
Really?
Yeah. I think maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
I'm probably you don't have to look that up. You don't have to look that up.
But they're probably less than the 10 million though. At that.
Yeah.
So fairly good.
So how old are these boys? Do you know?
Andrew's. Wait. I thought I had it down, but I don't know. No, I don't know.
Okay. I'm just kind of curious. I mean, are they in their 20s or are they?
Oh no. Well, they said they don't look. Andrew is 39, and Tristan is 38. So very close.
Okay, 38 and 39.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their influence involves they're kind of misogynistic. From what I've read, and this is just what I've read, they think that women are the property of men. The masculine thing, you have to be in charge, large and in charge, and they started their website in the UK around 2014. And
now, what country are they from? Are they from?
They have dual U.S. and UK citizenship.
Okay.
So, and then they relocated to Romania. They had up to 75 webcam models that they did. They instructed the models to tell fabricated stories, emotional ones, sob stories, to get money from users. Apparently they got lots of money from that, from hosting these. This is all alleged. Investigators allege the business was tied to systematically grooming and controlling these models.
Okay.
The models allege that they face severe psychological and physical coercion to make them compliant and dependent on them economically. They started doing criminal investigations in both Romania and the United Kingdom.
Okay.
So they said that everything that happened on their websites consensual. Didn't force them. They were all voluntary.
That's everything. What they right.
Yeah.
So are they denying that any of this stuff happened on their website, or are they just saying?
Oh,
that
they're just saying that everything that happened on the website, the women were participants.
Okay.
And they weren't being coerced into doing it.
Sure. Yeah.
They said this is the investigation says what they did.
Okay.
Again, it's the investigation. It's not hasn't been proven in court or anything.
Right.
They
Because
just
they have not
Yeah.
gone to court for anything yet.
No, they've just recently been arrested. They're in jail right now. But,
Okay. And what country?
they have been arrested in Florida. I don't think they've been
Okay, so
taken
they're still in
anyplace
the U.S.
Yeah, they're still in the U.S.
Okay, gotcha.
They say that they used the Loverboy method, where they found these women through social media, and they started with a romantic, saying they have a romantic interest in them. They're interested in a long-term romantic relationship, and then they kind of isolate the person, so they don't. Like usually, most of this took place in Romania. And then they manipulated the victim because of their love and loyalty to them. They got that, and then they recorded sex acts and sold the footage on adult platforms. So.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, really? Yeah. Andrew Tate, they have 42 counts against him. This is across international borders. They face 59 criminal charges. Andrew faces 42. They include rape, human trafficking, procuring for prostitution, and possession of child pornography. Tristan has 17. He's a little bit better, but he's younger, Charges include sexual assault, rape, and arranging or facilitating sex trafficking. Apparently, Andrew Tate says that he just uses TikTok, and they just make pennies on this stuff, So it's not like
pennies.
It's like, but they're saying they apparently they have evidence that from the Romanian files that that contrast his claims of pennies with millions of dollars in documented revenue. So. So, let's see. They went to Romania in 2016 because he believed that the threshold for being accused of rape was higher in Romania, and than it was in the UK. So, so they get to say, kind of avoid things by moving to Romania. Survivors of the British case said they were beaten with belts, raped by being held at gunpoint, and subject to psychological terror. Yeah. Wow. So then through 2022 to 2025, they were arrested by Romania's Organization Crime and Terrorism Department. In December of 2022, they faced asset seizures, including their luxury vehicles and property, when they were held under house arrest for they were held under house arrest for a long time. The trial was derailed, though, by procedural errors that saw the case returned to the prosecutors. They had a travel ban against them, so they couldn't leave the country. But apparently, one of our great Richard Grinnell, he's one of Trump's special envoys. He put pressure on the Romanian foreign minister during Munich Security Conference to return the Tate's passport and lift the travel ban. So they did that.
Of course they did. Of course Trump gets involved. Of course.
Apparently, these poor little boys are being pressured because they're conservatives. And what they're saying is not politically correct. So that's what the problem is. And Grinnell, he thinks that during Biden's administration that the USAID programs were used to make everybody politically correct and to go against any conservative principles. So he wanted to rectify that by getting these poor little boys an out.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
they went to Dubai.
Sure.
And while they were in Dubai, they went to Belgrade and Washington, D.C. as they tried to get their global influence, to spread their global influence.
Yeah.
And maybe, play a little politics and stuff and to get everybody to realize how put upon they are.
Yeah.
The Romanian court ruled in 2025 that they could be extradited to the UK, but only at the conclusion of all local trials. Apparently, what they have ties within the Trump administration. So Trump is trying to help them. Not necessarily Trump, but people within the administration.
The administration.
Yeah, it might have nothing to do with Trump. I don't want to say that it does. But one of the Tate brothers, former lawyers, went to work for the White House as a liaison role for the Department of Justice and DHS. His name is Ingracia.
Mm-hmm.
He called senior DHS officials and demanded a return of electronic devices that were seized from the Tates in Miami. He was offered a position in the guy that in Gracious that did all this. He was offered a position in the General Service Administration. They have Donald Trump Jr. apparently loves them and said that their detention was absolute insanity.
He loves the Tate brothers?
Yeah. Apparently,
Okay.
I've assumed because he just thinks it's insane that they were being detained.
Yeah, right.
And apparently they know the vice president too. So,
Oh.
yeah. So the special envoy for global partnerships, it's apparently a U.S. office. He got them an official visit to the United States. Their allies say that it's a woke conspiracy.
Okay.
It's just they're just being put upon. But
how many government or how many countries are they in trouble with?
Well, two, apparently the UK and Romania.
Sure.
But the U.S. Marshals,
Yeah.
they recently arrested them on July 18th this year. Because they had a new request from the British Crown Prosecution Service, because the UK is after them.
Right.
The UK has 4 additional victims, and the charges then included extreme pornography and indecent images of a child. So they're being held in federal detention without bail.
Okay.
Finally, the upcoming extradition proceedings will be heard by U.S. District Judge, and I guess Marco Rubio, as U.S. Secretary of State, gets to decide whether they get sent to the UK or not.
Okay.
Historically, the State Department has always approved
Extradition
requests since I guess there's a 2007 treaty ratification where and after that they've started doing it. But and right now, the Senate, Richard Blumenthal and Gary Peters, of course they're Democrats, so it might be another part of the conspiracy,
Yeah,
the
very
woke
woke,
conspiracy.
yeah.
They're investigating what they call brazen interference by the White House officials. They demand all communications between Paul and Gracia and the DHS, DOJ, and officials. They want a record explaining why a White House liaison attempted to recover evidence in an active federal investigation, and any accountability for any officials who directed or facilitated the intervention. And Florida officials, apparently Ron DeSantis, the governor, and the Attorney General have launched a preliminary inquiry to determine if the Tates' alleged conduct violated Florida law. They said they have zero tolerance for human trafficking. So it might be a chance where we find out whether or not, like the federal government is going to upload, going to help the global fight against this kind of thing, or even the state fight against it. So yeah, I just think it's very interesting. That
it is. I think it's interesting
Yeah.
so the administration is getting involved, and they've
Yeah.
taken their side.
Yeah, because everything's just too woke, and you're just being too picky. And you know, they have to prove it. It has to go to court.
No, and I get it.
But
This is all alleged.
that you don't think that the UK and Romania are just going to say, "Oh, we don't like you guys because you're too conservative, so we're going to charge you with all this stuff." It's just. I think they might have a little bit more evidence than just.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
But I mean, when you think about the administration, of course they would take that side.
Well, yeah.
Look what they've done to Epstein.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
It's like-
not one time has this administration ever taken the Epstein victims serious.
No, they
Ever.
don't listen to
Ever.
him. Todd Blanche listened to him one time, and that was only because one of the senators says, "Well, I'm not going to approve you until you meet with the survivor." And then he met with them, and he wouldn't even listen to him. He just kind of told them, "Talk to my secretary." I don't know what, but he just kind of dismissed them and said, "I'm just doing this because it's a step to be Attorney General." So.
And all this stuff with the Tate brothers, that's the alleged. Those are all
alleged.
The charges
we don't
that
know.
they have against them.
Yep.
But I just find that and I understand that they're just charges. But what I don't understand though is why this administration always takes the side.
The ones that are making money off of people.
Exactly. I mean,
it's like
I said, they and again, these boys have not been charged. I mean, they have not been. They've
convicted.
Not had their day
they haven't
in
had their
court
day
yet.
in court, right?
But that is so typical of them to why can't they just say, you know what?
Well, let's wait and see what's happening.
Let's send them to where they need to be. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, that's not how they do things, and that's absolutely not what they've done to the Epstein.
Right.
So
we'll see whether
of course they'll take their side.
Yeah, we'll see whether they get deported. Extradited.
Yeah.
Or not,
And I still believe that the Epstein is going to be one of the main reasons. If anything brings Trump down, it's going to be the Epstein thing.
Yeah.
Now, although the price of gas is not helping his situation, and the economy is not, and the war has not helped his situation out at all, but that's a very interesting deal. So keep watching for that. The Tate brothers. So they're sitting in Florida right now.
That's what I've heard.
So okay.
Yep.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget about the midterm elections coming up. Make sure you educate yourself, and please go out and vote in your primaries.
Yes.
The primaries are a whole lot more important than a lot of people think.
Yeah. And usually for whatever district or whatever you're in, there are other things on the ballot too.
Proposals and whatever.
Right, and school board things, city councilors, commissions, things like that. Those count too. They really do.
Absolutely. And it's this is going to be a very important election because the Democrats have a chance to take over the House, possibly the Senate. They might be able to do something with Trump, and that's why he's afraid right now.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't want everyone to vote. He would like the red states to vote. But not so much the blue states. Go out and exercise your right to vote.
While you still have it, yes.
Absolutely. Thank you all very much for watching today. We certainly appreciate it.
Yes, please like us, and if you want to leave us a comment, we'd be happy to respond.
Well, maybe not happy.
Well, yeah. It depends on what the comment is. Yeah.
Thanks. See you soon.
All right, bye.